Guys, what's up? This is Digitech74 and today I'm very excited. It's my very first video on YouTube and I just wanted to share my passion and love for video games. This is something that I enjoy very much. Basically I've been playing video games since I'm like 5 or 6 years old, and it's just it was fascinating when I started playing with the Atari. I believe that Coleco was like my first system. I was playing Pong and all that. Then the Atari 2600 came along in the 80s. Of course, the Atari was out like probably late 70s or stuff, but I just got my hands on my first Atari in 1983, which, you know, was a long time ago. Every time a new generation console, a new system comes out, I used to get very excited, and I will try to find a way to get the money. And sometimes having the money for the new console was like, that was not possible. Sometimes there was new system coming out and I'd be, oh my god, I'm so excited, but I have no money. I can't buy the system. So what is it that we people do? You go in and you check what games you have, what systems you have. You take them to the store, you take them to whatever store is it that you go to, GameStop, electronic boutiques, whatever it is, and you trade it in, right? So you get a few bucks, then you ask your mom, your dad, whatever, I need money to get a new console, and then you end up getting rid of your system, getting the new system, and the cycle goes on and on and on and on. And that's what I was doing for a couple of years. And then I realized after getting the Sega Dreamcast, I said to myself, I really like this system. Then the PlayStation 2 came along. And I said, no, I'm not gonna get rid of my Dreamcast this time. I'm just gonna start collecting. And basically that's what happened. I got into really collecting, and a few years ago I'm being more proactive now, trying to get the games that I used to have on most of the consoles that I used to own when I was a kid. So I've been tracking down the games that I used to play when I was little. And I also been, you know, looking at YouTube videos to see which games people is playing and which games do they recommend. So today I would like to introduce you to my small collection that I have now. And also I've been sharing this Amiibo collection with my daughter, which she enjoys, and I enjoy very much too. And I'm very excited because I just picked this guy today, Ryu and Roy, so maybe I'll do an unboxing video soon. Alright guys, so just let's get to it. Right on top here I keep the arcade, and I did a little modification here on the buttons. I got silent buttons here because the original ones were a little too clicky and it was just not fun to play. It was way too noisy, and after a while your hands get tired. So this is much better. It makes a world of difference. And I do know people who modify the arcade to make it look like miniature arcades, and they make outstanding work on here we have some Star Wars posters. Actually my daughter happened to find these posters on cereal boxes, and it was great to have. I think I'm missing one of them, at least from the original movies. And here I have the small PS4 collection. I probably started collecting about a year and a half ago or 2 years ago. So I've been getting the titles that I like the most, and some of the remakes like The Last of Us. I think it looks really good. I think they did a good job. I picked this up for cheap also. The Order was a great game, really short. Unfortunately didn't live to the expectations, but nevertheless, it was a good game to play. Sleeping Dogs is a great game also. I've been playing a lot of Grand Theft Auto, which is right over here. Moving down here. Maybe see if I can use a little bit of help here with the light. Here we go. Right over here we have some PlayStation 3 titles. Ni no Kuni, I just picked up that from Best Buy, and it was for cheap. It was really cheap. I just had to go and print the cover because it didn't have any cover or manual or anything. Catherine, another great game if you are into those Japanese stories. It's really cool stuff. Bayonetta here for the PlayStation 3. And I also wanted to mention, I like to apologize because I'm not the kind of person who likes to put everything in alphabetical order or genres or stuff like that. I simply grab things. I have a lot of storage in the back. You guys can't probably see anything, but I keep stuff in the back, so I keep moving things back and forth and playing different games and moving stuff around. I still know where things are and what games I have so far, so it's not too bad. I have to get more organized as the collection starts growing. As you can see, the Uncharted series is there. Crysis. My first Crysis game, believe it or not, was the Crysis 2, and I thought it was a great game. But people swear that the very first game was like the one that's the best game out there. Here you can see the Nissan GT-R. This came with the collector's edition for Gran Turismo 5. I was gonna say Grand Theft Auto. For the Gran Turismo 5, and it is a really nice scale model for the Nissan GT-R. And you can see over here, this is my daughter's favorite section, the Wii U section. This is the games that she likes to play a lot, except for Bayonetta. That's not for her. Everything else, we play a lot of Mario Kart, a lot of Super Smash Brothers. Super Mario Maker is great too. Over here I got my Game Informer magazines and the controller charger for the PS3. I got some guides also at the bottom. And over here I have the Hot Shots golf games. Right over here we have the Mega Man, Gold Mega Man, the Legacy Collection that came out for the 3DS. I basically wanted to have that Gold Mega Man, so I just went for it. And over here you can see I have a bunch of different games for different systems. They're not in any specific order. Again, I apologize for that. I know for those who are very organized and they really like to have everything in the best way possible organized, must be like, what is this mess here? I apologize for that, but again, I get a lot of games that this is the pile that I probably be playing a lot, and then I'll be deciding if I want to keep or just trade, get rid of, or just I'm not really sure what I'll be doing with some of these games. I know that Sniper Elite I'm definitely keeping. Ultra Street Fighter 4, I love those games. Mortal Kombat, the SSX series, those were great games, guys. I gotta tell you, I'm having a lot of fun. Over here we have Arkham City Batman. I picked this guy at GameStop. It was really cheap. It's not the best design, unfortunately, as you guys can, I don't know if you guys can tell, but it seems like the legs are extremely long, so it doesn't seem symmetrical. I still think it's a great figure to have, so I just picked it up. I'm also into building the Star Wars 3D metal kit, and this is the Imperial Star Destroyer. And this one was one of the easiest ones to do, actually. It wasn't too bad. The other ones are really hard. Over here we have the Retron 5 to play some of the retro games. I like the Retron 5, but I like my original consoles. I like to play the games in the original consoles. Over here in the background, Project Cars intro is playing. I just picked this game today. It was like $17, so I said, you know what, I gotta have this game. I love racing games, so it looks really good. So I can't wait to play it. Maybe I'll do a video on some of these games. I have the LED lights from IKEA. Let me remove the light and see if I can switch here. This is great when you're playing games and you just want to like change the colors according to what you're playing. I noticed that it's easy on the eyes if you have a little bit of background light. It just makes it easier for you to play. Some more Wii games. Some Mario Kart, Mario Sports Mix.
this Mario Sports Mix was something great. I found a loose disc on a thrift store one day, that along with another game, and for some reason they had it priced like 70 cents, 75 cents, the loose disc. I couldn't believe it. So I picked it up, and then what I did is I think I went to one of the GameStops and I asked one of the managers if I could actually have the cover, because I just had disc loose, and actually it's a very expensive game, believe it or not. So he was kind enough to give it to me, to give me the case with the artwork and the manual. So I was very happy to have that. And over here you guys can see I have some GameCube titles and more Wii games over here. And down below we're getting a little more retro here. This is more like the back in the day when I used to play the Nintendo games. You can see some Ninja Turtles, Punch-Out, great game. Life Force, I played Life Force. I finished this game, I can't even tell you how many times I finished this game. Contra, those were the games that I used to play when I was a kid. RC Pro Am, it's a game that I love, but I can't manage to finish this game. It just drives me crazy. I believe it's 32 tracks, and once you get to track 20 something, 23, 24, it's just so difficult. It's like you have to memorize where everything is, and there is no room for mistakes. So these games will punish you if you don't know where things are. But they're great. They're a lot of fun to play, that's for sure. Some more common Nintendo titles here. I just picked up the E.T. game for the Atari. I just thought it was cool to have, you know, especially after watching that documentary on Netflix when they were trying to get all the games from that burial, whatever the games were, and nobody actually believed that those games were buried in the desert, and actually, sure enough, they were there. So that's a little great piece of history. Over here we have some Nintendo games, 3DS games, some Super Nintendo games now, Pilot Wings, Killer Instinct, and that sticker, that thing is killing me over there. That is kind of damaged. That label is a little bit damaged over there, but I got it for a really good price. And over here I just managed to get some of the Universal cases, and I printed a few covers, artwork for the games that I have, like Turtles in Time, Star Fox, Super Mario All-Stars, Super Street Fighter. And again, I apologize because this is like a mix of Nintendo and Super Nintendo games here. And the other day I just went and got Dragon's Crown for the PS Vita, since I just found out that the PS Vita, the games are really like, they're not really making more games, at least not here in the US. And I saw the GameStop website is not even showing the PS Vita as one of the handhelds anymore. So I think that soon enough we're not gonna be having any more PS Vita games, unless you guys wanna get it from like Amazon and other websites. Here I have my handheld collection, the 3DS, the Sony PSP, the PS Vita, and here we have the Atomic Purple Game Boy Color with the Shock and Rock, which sometimes works and sometimes it doesn't. It's just, I think it's just getting old. And here we have Dragonborn from Skyrim, again a great purchased GameStop. Okay, and over here my pathetic the one game that I have for the PlayStation 1, which is Resident Evil. I think this game, my wife found it out as me. I was very happy to have it, so now I have a little bit of room there to start my PS1 collection. We have the Nintendo 64 games here, Mario Kart 64, GoldenEye, Jet Force Gemini, great games. Little Pokemon Ball over there. And here are the Sega Genesis games, which was a great system to have. I used to have a lot more of the Sega Genesis games, but after playing them and sort of some of those games I just didn't like, and I'm not really going for a complete collection, so I'm just keeping the games that well, for obvious reasons, I don't even have the space at the moment to have all these games. Here we have Purple Helmet and Darth Vader. And again, here in the background is Project Cars playing again, the intro, which is really cool. Here I have the solar spinner with the TIE Fighter. I built this model about 2 or 3 months ago, and I spent a great deal of time trying to get this just to put it together the right way. As you can see, there is a lot of curves and there is a lot of small parts, so I gotta tell you guys, I spent a lot of time. You gotta have you have to have steady hands and precision tools if you really want to do a good job on these things. But once the model is done, it's just amazing. Solar spinner does a great job. When you have the light, it just spins and it looks great. Over here, the PlayStation 3. This is my first PlayStation 3. This is the fat one. Here is the PlayStation 4. Great system. I hope that they keep making great games for it. The Xbox 360 Slim, another great system. I love most of them. Oh, and I forgot to mention, I have the Wii system over here. It's like I have the Nintendo 64 here and the Super Nintendo Mini with Street Fighter 2. And over here, right now, this is a demo for the Art of Fighting 3. This is like the Cadillac of video game systems. I always wanted to have a Neo Geo. This is a consoleized version of the Neo Geo, and it was made by a company called Analog Interactive. I tell you guys, this is a great console and everything. And here is the joystick. Unfortunately, I kept this guy in storage for a long time, and I don't know if the change of temperature, or I know that there was no impact. I know I didn't drop it or did anything to it, but if you guys look really closer, you can see that. Alright, I'm having a little problem here with the camera, but you can tell here that the wood cracked. And I was very disappointed when I saw that. The system works, everything seems to be okay, and to be honest, this is something that can be fixed. It's just aesthetically looking, I know that I can fix it. So I was just disappointed that the wood just cracked. I believe there was some temperature issue there, and then maybe the wood expanded and then just went back to normal, and just something happens there. So this is the Art of Fighting 3. I got this game at the Video Games of New York, and it's great. I love the Neo Geo. It's really good. Over here is my Dreamcast. As you guys can see, I ran out of space to put consoles. I will have to come up with another idea on how to at least get another 2 consoles, because I need to get the top loader for the Nintendo, since I want to start playing my Nintendo games again on the original system. So the top loader will be my next purchase whenever I can. And right over here I have some multi-cards for the Neo Geo. These are the MBS, and it has a bunch of games. The yellow card over here is 161 games, which has some variations of it's like some game hacks. Basically they just take some games and they like give they remix some things, infinite lives, superpowers and stuff like that. And the green one is just another multi-card for the Neo Geo, so it's good to have those. Over here is the Project Cars, which I picked up today at GameStop, and also Ryu, which is probably gonna go on the shelf soon, and Roy for the Amiibos. And over here we have the Amiibo collection. Very dope. I have the GameCube consoles. I believe these were the consoles that were released in North America. Japan has other fancy colors, but that's what we got here. And over here, as you can see on the top, well, we have Shovel Knight and the Chibi Robo, Duck Hunt and all that, Mr. Game & Watch, all the cool stuff. We have the Yoshi series, Dr. Mario, the Skylanders ones over there. Some of these Amiibos were like really difficult to get in the very beginning when I started collecting a little bit late, and of course I missed Villager, was one of the ones that I didn't have in the very beginning. Wi-Fi Trainer was one that was very difficult to get, but I managed to get. And Marth, of course. Everybody knows the story with Marth. Those were like the unicorns back then. But now it's been getting easy to collect them. Like, I think the fever it's down a little bit, and the scalpers, everything is back to normal now with the Amiibos, so it's not so bad. And I don't know, what was I pointing at? I think I was pointing at Lucina originally, but Marth is right over here. That's where Marth is. We have Meta Knight over there, Ness, Little Mac, and all the other good characters. Jigglypuff was a little bit difficult to get at some point. I don't know if that was the case for you guys, but Gold Mario, Amiibo, and the silver one, I think the gold one was a Walmart exclusive. So yeah, I was one of those guys who had to get up really early in the morning and go online and wait to be one of the lucky ones to pick some of these Amiibos. But it was fun, I tell you. Met a lot of great people, and some of these characters are just, the detail, it's incredible. The work that they put on the Amiibos. People said that the original prototypes had a lot more detail than what the final product was, which I will probably have to do some research on that, because I think that they look great. Especially this guy, look at King Dedede, he looks amazing. So yeah, I noticed also this one, I believe is a Japanese one, the Villager. I think I got this from Japan. They reprinted, in the second print the face looks a little bit different though. It has like a little more detail. I think the face is a little smaller. I think the eyes are a little more proportionate. Like, I don't know if that's the word. They're a little more proportioned to his face. But yeah, this is so far this is what I have right over here, and I hope you guys enjoyed this as much as I did filming. Super Mario Maker poster that they were giving away when people pre-ordered the Super Mario Maker game. So that was something really nice to have here.